Welcome back to the Nitty Gritty of Real Estate podcast. Today we're talking about 5 desired features in vacation rentals. Let's get into it. Thank you for joining us yet again. And we are here with Alicia Sanchez, one of the buyer's agents here in the TJK team. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So, all right, we are looking at, what would you look for as far as vacation rentals go, maybe as a consumer or as an investor from the investor end of it. And we could look on the generic lens and we can look even on the local lens. So where would you think you would start that process on looking?
Yeah, so there's quite a few things that we'll consider when you're wanting to turn your home into a vacation rental. Mm-hmm. And the first one is local experiences.
Okay.
So, of course, when someone is renting out a home or an Airbnb, it's probably because they're doing some type of activity in that area.
Okay.
So making sure that you're familiar with what activities or popular stops. Maybe it's downtown, maybe it's a museum, maybe it's the beach.
So like as far as that goes, would that mean like restaurants or like, I think obvious example, at least in my head, is like Disneyland, right? Yeah. So those are going to probably be extremely popular and in high demand frequently. And maybe here it might be like hiking or golf or an outdoor activity. And we do have, being the UNESCO gastronomy, one of the only 2 cities in the United States is Tucson and Austin.
Yes.
And so we have so many different types of food here, which for a foodie, that might be a good thing, right?
Right.
And I know you're always checking out the new local dining centers.
Yes, I love checking out the local shops and restaurants that are new here to Tucson. So it definitely attracts a lot of people here. And I think as someone who is putting a rental out, it's important to know what's out there and what's going to attract people. And you may even provide a list of popular places or restaurants You may even include maybe a list of popular stops or restaurants that they can stop at to build more attraction to your rental. Oh,
okay. Yeah, interesting. I think that's a great idea too, because it creates a little more personality to that rental. So the next point that we have here is unique properties. Can you sort of explain what that means?
Yeah, absolutely. I know unique could mean a lot of different things depending on who you're talking to.
Yeah.
But now what we've seen in the data is in 2023, the largest group was farm stays.
Interesting.
So more like rural areas where you're not around the city. A lot of people like to go that route because you can get more for what you would pay for in the city.
Okay.
So we're seeing more people want to go out into like the nature forest areas.
So instead of like maybe a small condo, you can have a large 4-bedroom house kind of away from people.
House, a cabin.
Yeah.
And then you have that peace of quiet too.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, we want to interrupt this episode to let you know that we are a Keller Williams Southern Arizona franchise.
We are also realtors practicing equal housing. Now let's get you back to the podcast. And like, would that include maybe like a themed sort of place? Like I've seen one Airbnb that was like pinball themed. And so they had pinballs machines in the basement and like gaming throughout the place.
So there's so many different themes out there that they're coming up with. There was one in New York where it was a cabin in the middle of nowhere, but every single wall was glass.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like, you're inside, but you feel like you're outside.
Okay.
And then it was a very unique stay. And I think a lot of people are getting attracted to those.
See, I think I would do that, but I'd be a little freaked out during the night.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And I didn't see any curtains or anything to cover them. So, I mean, if you like, that, it's, there's a place for everybody.
It's too voyeuristic for me. I don't know if I could do that. So yeah, we kind of hit rural settings and nature retreats too. A little escape from the sort of hustle and bustle of the city life. So that's
Keep in mind, a lot of hotels are not in the middle of nowhere.
Sure.
So of course, everyone's going to lean towards the Airbnb.
Yeah.
Or a rental home that they can get into.
Yeah. No, that makes a ton of sense. And so now luxury features, and we were sort of talking about this before the podcast and planning this and going like, luxury doesn't mean necessarily like $1 million property, right?
Right. Yeah, and that's pretty much what your mind automatically goes to is, okay,
Yeah.
luxury,
Yeah.
something that's expensive.
Right.
And it's not necessarily that. It's more what area are you in and what's luxury to that area. For example, in Tennessee, a lot of the Airbnbs have hot tubs.
Yeah.
But if you list it as a luxury, it's not really a luxury because everyone has hot tubs.
Right.
But if it's something that's one of a kind or a lot of people don't have,
Yeah.
it could be considered luxury.
So if it were like, I've seen like a wood-fired hot tub, that might be an extra sort of twist on the hot tub concept that someone might want to pay a little extra for because it's more experiential than like, it's just a standard hot tub. We've all been in one, right?
Exactly. We're all here for the experience.
Gotcha. And now another thing that we were sort of harping on, and I was even saying, like, why does every single hotel have the door that slams shut?
Right.
And everyone, of course, they're like going out and having fun night on the town, and they come back like at 2 or 3, and their neighbors who are already asleep, they come home and the door slams shut. That's so frustrating. Yeah, it's so frustrating. So that's another maybe perk with like an Airbnb, right? And it sort of this privacy idea.
Yeah. Or maybe even compared to like a house with a guest house and you're staying in the guest house.
Yeah.
If it's attached, it's kind of like a hotel. You still have that sharing wall. You know, you're hearing the noise or the door slamming. So a lot of people want the Airbnb that's private. You don't have to worry about who's outside.
Yeah. Yeah, that is nice. There's something to be said about having the property all to yourself rather than like knowing that someone's next door. And,
right.
Yeah.
And then you don't know, like if you're in a hotel, you have no idea who else is staying in that hotel.
Yeah, exactly.
We've all had an experience.
Yeah. You got, as long as you have the do not disturb sign on, it'll be all right.
Yeah, I think so.
Such a pain in the butt. So anyway, well, do your homework, I guess, right?
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, is there any like final thoughts that maybe you want to add to this? Like, yeah, what would you say someone starting on their journey? Maybe
I would say explore the area that your rental's in, understand what type of clientele you may be attracting or who you could attract, and build your marketing for your rental off of that.
So it's like any basic marketing plan is understand who your ideal client is, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that is great advice. And a lot of people don't understand that.
Right.
And since I do the marketing for the team, like that makes sense to me, but
yeah,
not a lot of people have that mindset.
And know that things take time. You can start off rough and make upgrades to the home and kind of figure out your clientele as you go.
Yeah. No, that is great advice because it's just like every great sitcom where when the first episode comes out, it's okay, but then as they mature into their characters, it gets better and better, right? So it's, I think, similar sort of concept.
Exactly.
So, well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for giving us all that information there. And if you guys have any questions on this, you could always email us at podcast@thetjkteam.com. We'll have Alicia's email info down below, too, if you have any questions for her. And if you found anything helpful in this podcast, be sure to like and subscribe. We're on every major podcast platform that you can think of. So feel free to give us a follow on one of those. And we will see you next time.
Thank you for listening and watching the Nitty Gritty of Real Estate podcast here with the Tom J. Krieger team of Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. If you are interested in buying a home, selling a home, or even investing in real estate, we have 5,000 agents across the country that we can connect you to. If you need any free resources, feel free to check out our website at www.thetjkteam.com. We hope you have a great day.